if you
Yeah,
would
we
just
should
start the
stop
show.
doing that, man.
If you would just start the show an hour earlier.
We thought about going back to 8 o'clock.
Let me get this straight. You're sending naked pictures of men in tox.
No, you actually. It wasn't Todd. It was you. You know, and
I'm feeling completely ripped
lost.
off because I haven't received any of these things.
Okay, I will send them to you, but I've been accidentally sending them to other people. It's you and that oiled up gay men's choir that got all the funding instead of the LA firefighters.
Is that actually a thing, really?
Yeah, that's one of the many things that got funded, but not firefighting. No.
That's really sad.
Maybe they could sing the flames away.
Well,
Is that like
I mean,
praying the gay away, but praying the fire away?
It's a different kind of flaming.
Yeah.
If we go next to the fire and are more flaming than it is, it'll just become naturally tame. Be in LA sniffing around. What do you smell there? What's that? I smell the San Francisco Gay Men's Choir.
Well, it's Los Angeles, but yeah,
They're burning.
Yeah.
Los
San
Angeles
Francisco probably has one too.
So the San Francisco gay choir is the one that basically said we're coming for your children.
Oh, that's
That
right.
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh wait, wrong version of the song.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it was the Gay Men's Chorus of Los Angeles.
Wow.
They got some money. They got $14,000. So maybe that would have fixed one of the fire trucks that was in the boneyard for some reason.
Culture, I think you're coming through the wrong mic.
Hold on, let me listen. Speak again.
I'm looking.
He does something slightly different. It's nothing where it says like, oh, it sounds bad. He sounds fine, but you can tell it's different.
If you're using a Wave XLR,
I am.
so every so often they will turn off the sub-programs you have in there for cleaning up your sound and background noise. Little green squiggly thing will be off. Yeah, it's something I've asked Elgato to fix for a long time, and they don't care.
Yeah, now it sounds better. Now we can increase as well.
Yep. So when I come on and I sound like that, that's the same thing. That's what I learned. So Corey had his food thing on today. He does the weird food. And there was this cheese-covered Swiss log roll thing that somebody made. You know those Swiss sweet log cake things they make at Christmas? It was just disgusting. And I don't know where he finds this stuff.
You know, I really wish I miss him. Why does he not love us anymore?
Suddenly you're back to...
Now your market is actually worse. I can't believe I'm saying it, but it's actually worse. I'm not
Worse?
saying that involved. I'm genuinely serious. It's worse.
Okay. I don't know.
Now you sound great. I think it's just the mic leveling out.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, now you're perfect.
No, I that's what I hear from the boss all the time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you want? I love this commercial.
Have you had enough dong to last you a lifetime?
But it's kind of low.
Take just a few more steps. Past those single-minded restaurants and dive into Sherry's Slam and Clam. Sherry's Slam and Clam Shellfish Bar is truly all you can eat.
Oh, wait a minute.
Unlike the two-shrimp limit that
there's a lot
stingy
of really
bastard
important
Wang
stuff
has.
that was spent.
In a hurry,
the money,
let
the
Sherry
money that
stuff
could have
your
been
box.
firefighting
To
money was
go.
spent on.
Be shellfish and take all you want from Sherry's Slam and Clam.
Let's see.
Located next to the 3rd Street Bolorama, Sherry's is open 6 days a week. If you are looking to slam clam, get to Sherry's today.
More to it.
Penis exploding with entertainment.
$100,000 to the civil.
One thing we don't do on
human
Thursday Night
rights
Throwdown
and
is screw
equity.
around.
After the
No.
intro, man,
We don't.
By the way, have you guys seen Toxic Man Flu naked in the shower? It's like really disgusting. Like somebody vomited in a blender and like said it extra chunky. It's really gross.
I'm back.
Like every time I see him,
Cool
I
dude.
want to shave my eyeballs with a razor. We are literally the same height.
No, I'm definitely taller, Comics.
We got your back, Comics. You okay back there, Nick?
Bravo Bolt to TNT command. Target is locked. That's a confirmed hit. Target is down.
Oh, I get the helicopter because I'm the fat kid. That's bull. You, Rogan, get away from my turtles.
I don't have any hands and feet, Comics. I can't fly a plane.
You cannot read a super chat.
It's Thursday night Throwdown!
Yes, I am.
I can't believe Roland's back in jail.
What?
Yeah.
You got back into Twitter jail.
How do you do that?
Excuse me, we'd like you to have this flower.
Well, he said,
Excuse me, sir, would you... Donation to the Reverend Moon?
No, you can't say that on Twitter.
Jews for Jesus? Read about Jehovah's Witness?
about Buddhism.
About Buddhism?
No Gary's kids.
Oh, yeah. Scientology? Or nuclear power?
I miss Jason.
I do too.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to Thursday.
Look, it's Ian. Oh no, we lost.
No, we lost Mad.
Man, what happened to Man?
Well, anyway, hello, everyone. Welcome to Thursday. Anyway, here's everybody.
I'm here.
It's funnier that way.
That wasn't
mic is
Brahma.
like-
That was me just saying about Buddhism.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen,
now it-
special guest and friend of the channel, a
Except
man
when
that
he
needs no introduction.
Uh.
Looks like he's gone Amish. Mad Cheesemo.
Hey!
How's it going?
You have a
You're
beard.
good.
I'm
Did
mad.
you buy a farm or something? In
I've
Pennsylvania?
been thinking about it. I got an ox. Not a lot of, your bush isn't that big for me and my ox, but I'm getting ready to start my own comics farm called Comics Farm 2.0. More bush.
More bush.
Like a 70s porn over there.
So you heard it here, comics. Mad wants you to grow your bush.
Yep.
I think Mad's pro Bush.
Anyway,
He's in the thick of things.
Speaking
Holy
of
cow.
roll the Reddit kid for $50. Sorry,
Maybe I
missed
should have
movie
made
night.
fun of him.
I got some new equipment for Christmas, and I thought I had everything set up correctly, but alas, I was wrong. That sucks, man. On the plus side, I now know how it feels when Tox is producing one of Ian's live streams. Yeah. Screw you, Tox.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Let's see. What do we have for Roland? I mean, he basically just
that gameplay. What do we have for Roland? Oh,
Yeah.
I got stuff for Roland. Let me go find it.
Yeah.
The dumbest MFer in the world. Is that him? No. Maybe this one.
Coming in harder than an 18-year-old on Viagra, it's Roland Vetched.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go, Roland.
That was so uncomfortable.
It kind of was. Well, he follows up with another $50. Big 50 turned into a big 100. Thank you, Roland. Marcus
There.
evolved into Tox Terrorizer. We are looking for new members just to send me a PM, and you are in. That's some stringent requirements you got there, Roland.
Well, I mean,
I'm proud to announce we may soon have our first female member.
Oh, no. If you guys get lovely Sherry in on this, I will block you.
Stabby Sherry?
This is for
Oh, man.
I actually
Irate.
get it. Worse when I'm not on the app. Let's see.
Hey, Mad,
Mm-hmm.
are you writing bits for later?
No. I was like, Brahma, where are you? He's like, I told you I had to take the night off. That's my Brahma in text voice. I'm like, well, I skipped that text, so I didn't know.
Yeah, he's babysitting the grandkid, and I'm gonna
Ugh.
play this for Roland real quick.
Grandpa Bull. I like that. I think I get Grandpa Bull. Hold on,
Happy Bull.
I gotta get the bull's milk out.
Oh, wow.
I don't care for the amount of time this baby is taking from us with
Yeah,
Brahma.
I know.
This was a bad idea.
I know.
Oh yeah, you can ask him. It was still, no matter what, he loves the grandbaby. It's still a bad idea for his kid. 100%.
Oh, I was there on the lead up
yeah.
to the when he found out.
I remember a little bit of drama. Yeah, yeah. But I
Was there
sent
a
you the
llama
link to
involved
the
in that
to the
drama?
to the things that got the money.
All
The
right.
things that got the money?
Yeah, not the fireman's.
TGV Monster. I can really say words tonight, folks.
No.
This is going to be a fun stream for $2. Hi, comics, everyone. Happy Thursday.
Hello.
He also follows up with rest in peace, David Lynch. Yeah, I know. It's very sad.
Tragic.
Twin Peaks was always a treasure to me. He was one of a kind. Certainly was, man. He was definitely a very creative and out there filmmaker. Very talented guy. He was my favorite crazy old man next to Gary and Culture.
Oh, thank you, TGV.
Mm-hmm.
My
That's very nice,
favorite
yeah.
boomers.
He is he was actually a genuine auteur. He thought about things quite differently.
Yeah.
You know, from Blue Velvet, which is a movie everybody remembers, but before that you had Dune and
Lost Highway was an interesting movie.
yeah, and Mulholland Drive.
Yeah, that was one.
But Twin Peaks will stick with me forever because it engaged the American audience and tapped into the cultural zeitgeist in a way that nothing had before. Unlike the traditional, adult soap operas like Dynasty, Dallas, and similar, that show gathered everybody together around the television for just how oddball of a mystery we were all being consumed by.
Wasn't that Crying Game stuff?
I don't think that was David Lynch.
Oh, okay.
That's
All right.
Somebody
No,
else.
no. By the way,
That was, I want to say like a British film, I thought.
it should be mentioned that he also did music videos. Wicked Games by Chris Isaac. Phenomenal videos.
Oh, yeah. That was a fantastic, fantastic music
He
video.
was a literal genius, and a lot of people don't know him, but he's a very prolific writer, not just of films, but many other things. Not to mention the fact that he even produced video games, including Twin Peaks VR.
That I was unaware of.
Yeah. But very, very, very interesting dude. And he was working on projects even as of now and just finished one not that long ago, last year.
Did you ever see What Did Jack Do? He did like in 2017 where he's interviewing a monkey that can talk, but it's different.
Definitely different. Yeah.
Yeah, he's again auteur. Very strange. He's
All
almost as auteur-y as who's that guy we watched all the time, Matt? Neil Breen. I couldn't hear you. What do you say? Neil Breen?
You fucked up your mic, dude.
Yeah, you're muted now. You tapped your thing.
All right, real quick, let me get through these.
Oh, you know what? I tapped the mute on the thing accidentally. Neil Breen.
Gotcha.
Neil Breen, thank
you. TGV Monster gifted a membership. Also, Haywood Jablomi did the same thing. Thank you.
Wood.
Haywood also comes in for 5 Canadian. Says, thanks for the movie last night. Another suggestion in this realm. Naked Gun follows from Police Squad. Yeah, that's going to be the next one. We're gonna watch.
We're gonna go for the yolks.
Yep. Great fucking
Another movie I'm not invited to.
Brian for $5 says, comics. Just rebought a lot of old Werewolf Apocalypse tribe books. Love the RPG setting. When will you rage? That was also a book.
You know, what was that RPG system that you liked? Comics. Pathfinder. Did you hear what the guy from Pathfinder said?
Oh, well, I'm not a giant fan of Pathfinder. It was one of the things that I was thinking about playing, for stream. But yeah, I am aware of what he said. Basically, he told JD Vance to send his books back, and a lot of people basically replied back to the Paizo saying, "Yeah, we'd like to send our books back too."
Please send us our refunds.
Yeah,
we'll send the books. Hey, oh, dude, such craziness! Oh my god!
When I was debating what video to make yesterday, I was thinking about talking about that. I mean, that shit's just
that's dumb.
Yeah,
he's a dummy.
Well, and the thing is too is Paizo is just as woke as Wizards of the Coast. Maybe they're worse, but like their first edition stuff is actually really good. And you know they kind of filled a void in tabletop when basically Wizards of the Coast really fucked up D&D with 4th edition. So the Paizo came out with Pathfinder, which was using more the kind of 3.5 D&D rules, and yeah, that whole thing is a giant fucking mess. It's really sad because even White Wolf or whoever's doing the White Wolf books now are pretty crazy, and they have the
No, that sucks.
yeah, it's gotten super woke too, but
You just kind of wish that they just stop doing this crap and just make something that people enjoy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But Airplane was what the movie we saw on movie night. Remember movie night last night? It was really funny.
Outstanding.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. A lot of the jokes held up. Some of the jokes are pretty dated.
Especially when they're referencing people that you're not familiar with.
Right. Like Ethel Merman. Not everybody would know Ethel Merman.
Right.
I mean, I did.
You gotta have some knowledge of the culture at that time to catch some of the jokes. But there's definitely some stuff there that's really timeless as well. There's a bit of both there.
Yeah, there is. It's something enjoyable.
And you definitely have to have that mix. And when we talk about making something for a modern audience and taking things from that time period that aren't timeless, I mean, it's not as much of a big deal with a movie like Airplane. Because it's a comedy. It is definitely a product of its time. But when we start talking about stuff like Star Wars and Star Trek, which because of the subject matter, science fiction, that transcends the time period that they were made in. So yeah, okay, sure.
Alien like that.
Example.
Right.
Yeah. Sure, they may have the style and aesthetic of that time period, but the the politics and whatnot and everything, just at that point, it kind of transcends stuff, and the politics or that take place within the universe.
Yeah.
So.
I think that's why something like A New Hope ascended for generations, because I mean, granted, I know the stigma of that franchise is tainted, but preceding the last 10 years, you could put that movie on in any of those decades, and outside of the effects, you could feel like that story could have been presented at any time. Not just because of the idea of the story, but even the way they talk. There was even a timeless way to the way they spoke, because even the dialogue holds up. That there's nothing about it that feels like dated there. Like Lucas and crew were really on to something with A New Hope.
Oh yeah. So I'm going to give some memberships because of this. That's why I'm going to show it. Nick the Greek for what's going to be 10 Comics Division memberships as soon as I get logged on and do it. If we threw away everything just because it's a bit dated, then we would have Toss Culture Casino ages ago.
That's true. Very true, Nick.
There we go.
I mean, there's an argument that could be made. It's not too late to do that.
That's true. That's true.
Look, there is a younger person here in Matt. And there is a younger person in Nick. I mean, look, I mean, we're all replaceable. In fact, we're designed to be replaceable.
Yeah.
So,
in fact, Mr. Tickle Drunk from Canada would like to know who the angry lesbian in the bottom right is.
Oh, wow.
That's for us to know, you to find out.
Ed's
Brian
bought a
also
Subaru.
follows it with White Wolf 5e books. Yeah, terrible woke bullshit. Yeah.
Yep.
My favorite character that came out of Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition is a character named Rudy. If you're not familiar with White Wolf, vampires are organized into clans. Basically, it's like bloodlines and lineages.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And the character is a gangrel. If you're familiar with what the gangrel clan is, but he is a gay Muslim fighting for social justice and feminism. And it's just like, wow, you can't get much current year than that now, can you?
Yeah, I loved playing those games. I even had a lesbian in my playing group at the time when I was first introduced to that, and I mean she was like the most into it of anybody ever. And it was a really wonderfully cool.
She really
experience.
dove into it, huh?
Indeed, yeah. And right after that, we got into Vampire the Masquerade. And that was amazing. And then you can combine those two together and play with werewolves and vampires. It's extraordinary.
Well, one of the things I was thinking about with if I was to run a like 2025 modern day vampire campaign, I would absolutely incorporate social justice warriors into the anarch movement and have it be like a thing where the anarchs and the Bruja did it intentionally and it just like blows up in their face and just becomes like this massive disaster. So yeah, I mean, there's ways of like working stuff like that in as an actual plot point rather than just being like, oh, we're for social justice, want to make our game, lame and gay at this point. It's like you could do things creatively and have it be interesting.
Well, I
but
mean,
but that's
you can set up I forget what the corporate structure vampire people were, but they were like
the Tremere.
Yeah, you could have them basically be the oligarchs that are trying for world domination.
Well, I mean, they kind of already are.
No, I know, but you know what I mean. It's
Yeah.
like, it's like, the WEF.
Hey, Tina.
Hey, Tina.
Tina.
Hey, can we get to gay choirs, please?
Yes.
Ginger Ninja's in the chat. How you doing, buddy? Good to see him. There's Godzilla there. Haven't seen him in a while.
Hey.
Glad to see you. And I saw a lovely Sherry out there.
Yeah.
Played your clam commercial.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, culture. We were kind of talking about this before we went live.
Can you answer this?
Does comics Mike have trouble picking up a man so small?
That's low even for you, Tickle Trump.
Yeah,
it really is, and you should be ashamed of yourself, Tickle Trump.
And I look,
this fucking EV Mux, dude. Like literally everything is cranked up.
That's not you.
On the Windows side, on my microphone side, the only thing I haven't done is like cranked it volume all the way up, which I'll probably start peaking if I do that. But I haven't changed shit. I don't know what the fuck is going on with EV Mux.
Yeah,
we're switching back to StreamYards at this point.
We are.
Yeah, we are.
Yep.
Well, that's a bummer.
They've added a lot of new things as well.
Dude, I could be using my camera on StreamYard on someone else's StreamYard, and then I hop on the EV Mux, and all of a sudden my camera is no good to use. The minute I hop on the EV Mux, no connection change, just different streaming platform. I could go on my Streamlabs, camera's good, but I come here, and all of a sudden, boom, EV Mux, bro. I'm like, come on, guys, it's been a while now. You should have this stuff sorted out.
This has been like over a week now, where everyone's complaining about my audio being low, and it's like, sorry guys, like I can't do anything.
Yeah.
All right.
It's the fucking program.
I hear you fine, personally. To be fair, I do.
He actually wasn't complaining about you being too low. He was making a short joke.
Yeah.
Well, okay. It could be a short joke, but I've seen people complaining about my audio being
complaining
low.
about your okay.
So I figured he was making a short joke at my expense because my audio is low. So,
well,
yeah,
he's mean.
There's that. Anyway, screw you, Mr. Tickle Trunk. Just kidding, buddy. I love you. Culture, talk about your gay choir.
Well, it's not mine. It's Los Angeles's, and I sent you the link, but I guess I can do it. Hang on.
Well,
so this is what we lost in the fire, or I should say, this is why we lost so much in the fire. Let me add it.
We didn't start the fire.
No, we didn't.
But the world's been
okay. That was you. Do it. You do it, producer guy. I'm sorry.
Wow, you're gonna really go there with that song.
Yeah,
I'm not doing it that time.
Yeah. Okay, go.
Billy Joel's best song ever.
It's true, but and also it's true that we know who started. Well, we have some people in custody, but anyway. So gay choirs, trans cafes, and social justice art, and Hunter Biden's art apparently. Yeah, that's
no, apparently all of Hunter Biden's art went up in flames.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So yeah, so what LA spent money on while cutting its fire budget, and Los Angeles is going to cut, or excuse me, California is going to cut like another $100 billion or something. Anyway,
from the fire department.
Yeah, that's a whole other story.
That
but anyway,
seems like a brilliant move right now.
The city of Los Angeles cut funding for its fire department and allocated thousands of dollars to various progressive programs, including a midnight stroll transgender cafe and gay men's chorus. Fires swept through Southern California on Wednesday. I remember that. This is like a couple weeks ago now, or whatever. High winds fueled the destruction. Democratic mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass, was slammed for slashing Los Angeles's fire budget by $17.6 million for fiscal year 24-25. Fox 11 reported, citing LA City Controller Kenneth Mejia, Eaton fire evacuations, yada, 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 yada. All right. So anyway, Bass claimed in the press conference that none of the reductions made would have impacted the situation. Maybe they would have fixed the 40 fire trucks that were in the boneyard. Anyway, we're dealing with over the last couple days. This,
you know what also would have helped? Getting rid of all that flammable material they left lying around. Everywhere.
Yeah. You mean the prevention measures that taxpayers pay for, but that they don't do?
We'll get into that. We'll talk about Jon Stewart and his fucking retarded ass take.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
Have they tried gathering up some celebrities to sing "Imagine" to the fire?
No.
Yes.
No.
But
Los Angeles,
what they need to do is they need to feed those celebrities to the fire.
Just
like
hypothetically.
I mean, that's how you appease the
metaphorically
fire god.
in
Culture.
Minecraft.
You feed the worthless people to the fire, and that's basically actors.
That's
the metaphorical fire of love.
That's an extraordinary Minecraft reference.
Imagine the song that Garth Brooks and his wife Faith Hill or whoever sang at the funeral for Jimmy Carter.
Yeah, and look what it did for him.
So you're at a guy's funeral in a church, and you're singing "Imagine There's No Heaven."
I heard there was like a twitch. He didn't come back or anything, but there was definitely some movement when they sung it. That's what I'm saying. If they sing it to the fire, it would be done.
Well, I mean, that guy had been rotting for like 2 weeks by the time they got to that event. So it's a whole.
He smells like peanuts.
Anyway, Los Angeles allocated $100,000 to the Civil plus Human Rights and Equity Department. Thank you. The funding's purpose is to support a safe haven for unsheltered transgender individuals in Hollywood.
Hey, I got a better idea. How about you stop sending them that money and basically have them raise money like they're supposed to do from all those woke ass celebrities that live in the area that I'm sure they'll be as pleased as punch to fund them. And instead use that tax money to make sure your fucking reservoirs are full. Just a thought.
Yeah. So similarly, the Cultural Affairs Department Special Appropriations budget, I'm sure we needed that, allocated $100,000 for the National Association for the Advancement of Color People Awards. What? Yeah, thank you.
I guess so.
They appropriated $8,600 for One Institute, the International Gay and Lesbian Archives.
Wait, they're not even American archives?
I don't know. The One Archives at the University of USC Libraries currently has an exhibit titled Sci-Fi Magic, spelled poorly, Queer LA, and Sexual Science and Imagination, also spelled incorrectly, which focuses on occult and the Lebedjitiqua movement. You know what?
Lesbetiqua plus?
Yeah, and what's interesting is they left the P out of this one.
Wow.
Did you hear they were trying to drop the P in there again? Huh? What?
So do you think that was intentional or accidental?
I have no idea. But the budget also allocated $13,000 for a personally close to his heart, comics' heart, lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender heritage month programs.
Oh, that sounds like something you'd definitely be attending.
And $14,010 to the gay men's chorus of Los Angeles.
I missed it. His audio's too low.
Yeah. Los Angeles African American History Month. American Indian Heritage Month. Latino.
Hey, I'm all over that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
That's good stuff right there.
And Asian American History Month each got $13,000. The budget also appropriated $170,000 in total for social justice art worker investments.
Wait, what does that mean?
It means nothing.
What is an art worker?
Fucking nothing. That's basically what it means.
Can niggas be social justice artist?
I don't know. I do know that the LA Fire Department was blasted for promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives and its 2023 to 2026 strategic plan stated that DEI was one of its key goals. Breaking the law was very important to them.
Well, yeah, and this is very important to point out because we'll talk about this when we get to Jon Stewart because that dude's a fucking retard.
So the stated priority of the city's first Lesbetiqua, did I do that right? Lesbetiqua?
That's Lesbetiqua Plus.
Okay. Yeah, Lesbetiqua plus lots of other letters that they are trying to hide. And woman fire chief Kristen F. Crowley is promoting culture that values DEI, which is why it looks like a bunch of U-Hauls are going to be rented at any moment there.
Well, they've replaced all their fire trucks with U-Hauls.
Apparently so. And so do you realize 40 of their fire trucks are in the board yet? Anyway, the Daily Caller reached out to Los Angeles.
Those. I mean, there's rarely fires in Los Angeles yearly. I mean, come on. This whole
this
thing
has never happened
blown out
before.
of proportion, guys. They have it all under control. Never mind the fact that all these hundreds of acres have burned down.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. The right is just making a bigger. They're making a mountain out of a molehill. Is what they're doing.
Okay, well, your house burned down because the gays, the trans, and the social justice people are more important than your property and the number one priority in protecting the citizens of Los Angeles.
No, let's be honest. Okay, that the real reason why this has happened, and this is a symptom. This is obviously something that's hampering the response. The real issue why this is an insane problem is because of the lack of forest management.
Well, land management.
Yeah. This has been brought up for fucking years at this point, which is the scariest thing. And of course, when it gets brought up, you should you gotta go rake the leaves. It's like, yeah, dude, because that shit will go up.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like there are other areas in Southern California that suffer this exact same issue. Are the municipalities responsible for preventing fires in their areas acting accordingly, or have they similarly funded this bullshit that doesn't do anything for the citizens?
Yeah. Well, the reality is that because this area is so prone to fire because of drought and all this other stuff, it's not going to stop fires from occurring, but the actual management of the land and getting rid of the undergrowth, the dead wood, leaves, etc., would actually make the situation less volatile like we've seen it. And obviously then having the appropriate response in place, obviously the fire trucks needing water, my favorite clip was the guy saying, and so far we have not heard that the firefighters don't have water. And then they cut to the person who's live and she just totally contradicts him. Well, we've spoken to the fire department and they're leaving because there's no water. That was fucking brilliant. Absolutely fucking brilliant. Yeah. This thing is a fucking mess, dude.
And it's not going to get better. And, we had this exact same conversation about 3 years ago, if you remember, when San Francisco was on fire. The area around it was on fire because of a fault in the electrical system that ignited an entire area because it sparked to the ground. And they had not done the proper cleanup. Of course, that was under the purview of the Edison folks, PGE or whatever it is in California, the utility up there, that had not cleared all the tinder, because that's what it is: dead grass, leaves, bushes, trees, tinder from the area that they're supposed to maintain.
So there was a sex app out there.
No,
causing the fire.
No. The proper use of the word Tinder, not the bump and grind stuff that I know that you.
Well, I don't see nothing wrong.
Well, the funny thing about it too is that for it to get this bad, it's usually like a series of events that just completely go wrong to make something escalate into such a colossal disaster like this. Obviously, one of them is the lack of forestry management. There's the response, which is another fucking problem as well. So yeah.
And
no, look at we have a Scotsman.
Good
Hi,
evening,
Scotty guy.
Hello, how are
He
we?
comes with sheep.
He comes with sheep. Did you say?
Wow. I
didn't bring any with me, if that's what you mean.
They come with strings attached.
There's so many jokes.
So many bad jokes that can be made. All right, before we jump over to talking about Jon Stewart and his god awful fucking takes.
Oh, dude, horrendous.
We're gonna go and get the rest of the
story. By the way, still one of the greatest intros to a final episode ever.
Yes. Deeple101 for $1 says, "Hail, chat and panel. I nominate Superman 1 and 2 for movie night. I don't think I ever seen Donner Cut. Hit the like button plus subscribe button and hashtag these are my friends. Talks. I'm the slumlord to the rich Rob."
Oh wow.
Oh, that's nice.
Wow.
So it'd be Roland Man and Deeple Boy.
I guess so.
I know this guy.
Mod Eric K for $1 says, "Comments of what? Gay Muslim gangbanger? Does he toss himself off buildings in the game?" Yeah, I it's fucking retarded, man. It's fucking retarded. All right, Save to Drafter for $10. In a world, announcer voice, in a world where there is a good against evil, Emperor Alf in helium voice 3 times. Not doing that. Sorry. Is trying to take over the world. Smurfed up. Smurfed up Fraggle. Sorry. Many other characters. Part 1. Okay.
Fraggles. That's funny because during the Monday show, Mrs. Flew was singing Fraggle Rock, the theme, the entire theme.
I love that show.
While bouncing up and down in the hallway, dancing during the show.
Fraggle Rock.
Exactly.
Mr. Tickle Trunk for $2 Canadian. That gay choir was personal to me.
There, I look. I mean, I get it.
Look at those nasty sounds.
By the way,
Yeah, I don't care for
Nick,
any of that.
it sounds like you're using the wrong mic or something. I don't know.
I will.
It's EV Mugs.
Yeah,
Those
you know what?
bastards.
Look here.
Toxic Man Flu gifted 10 memberships. Thank you, Tox.
Hey, what was the first super chat you brought up on screen?
Oh, my mic cord came undone.
Oh,
It sounds like it.
the one from Deeple?
Yeah.
What about it?
EV Mugs flew to Nick's house from wherever they are, and they unplugged his mic. Those bastards.
So a story dropped today, speaking of slumlords, that Gavin Newsom isn't allowing people to make under the previous value of the property offers to acquire anything in the Palisades area, Pacific Palisades, or any area there. So they're trying to artificially keep the tax base intact, because obviously with no structures attached to the property
values go down.
Property values crash. So they need that tax base, because if you just think about Pacific Palisades alone, we're not even talking about Malibu, but just that area of those, 8,000 to 10,000 structures that were lost, the average home price in that area is $4.3 million.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine what the taxes are annually on that little bit of space, or I guess massive bit of space, to be fair. That's a lot. And if we're talking about $150 billion in damages or more.
Well, I mean, they're also trying to tax people that have left the state as well, which is
it's illegal. You can't do it.
No, you can't do that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right. Sabretooth Raptor. Who will win? Will Wheaton? Because chaos. Will Mexican Iron Man smurf his arch enemy? Will toss clown Spider-Man out of the airlock?
Oh.
Samurai Comics and Culture Casino fly the Winnebago into the death world to win.
That sounds good to me.
I
like
followed all of that and need nothing explained.
That was great. Yeah, absolutely awesome. And yes, Will Wheaton's going out the airlock.
Oh yeah, dude, he's we will do it kindly.
Oh look, I have a real job.
Wow,
Change the batteries.
I haven't heard one of those in a long time. For a second, I thought it was your
wow.
fire
All
alarm.
of a sudden, I felt like I was somewhere outside of Israel in like a strip somewhere.
Did you lose your penis? Culture?
I'm just
Wait,
saying.
did Do they even have fire
Culture
alarms?
loses penis?
He lost somebody else's penis, though.
Oh, wow.
It happens.
Did you hear that they've now apparently loaded sex toys with, like,
What?
weird
Of
stuff?
course I heard that because
With
I'm the one that found
batteries?
the story and fed it to you.
Oh.
Well, that'll blow.
Indeed. Oh,
Apparently they're taking over the Bluetooth in female sex toys, and they say that they can cause them to get very warm.
Well, some ladies
like a
that.
Galaxy S5 or whatever. Remember when
Yeah,
those
exactly.
were blowing up?
Blows everything up. Yeah.
good Lord. Okay. Brian says, 2028 Olympics. Things California wanted for it needed people to move and remove homes and businesses. Now they have the land.
Strange,
Dude,
isn't it? Strange.
The first conspiracy theory that I was 100% buying that dropped was, hey, California will be the first state to have a 15-minute city.
Yeah. Well, there
So,
you go.
you know, like Dre said, I got caught because my beeper kept beeping. I guess like some chick would be like, I got caught because my vibrator kept vibrating.
Or kept bursting to flames, I guess. Magna Norse for $5. No tender equals no
Thank you,
tender
Brian.
box. Indeed. CA is not the only place on the earth with fires. Oh, yeah.
Right.
Homeless arson ain't a great addition either. Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, look, if you are whacked out of your mind on fentanyl,
First they came for the Galaxies S5, then they came for the pagers, and now they come for me.
And now, apparently, in Blazing 64, this is Tox's pacemaker failing. Thank you very much.
wow, I hope not.
Well, yeah, his blood pressure spiked, just like Monty and Landman. So.
Oh man, dude, come on now, come on, dude. I'm still unhappy with the way I'm not even gonna get into it. Still unhappy.
All right, Eric K for $5.
Great
The
show.
fire may not have been planned, but they are taking the opportunity to grab land
Yeah.
grab.
Yes, yes, Eric.
Susie and Joe Rogan said, we just accidentally sent $6 billion more to Ukraine when $5 billion would have fixed everything in Maui.
Priorities.
And they're not getting
folks.
exactly
Priorities.
Yeah,
priorities.
yeah.
Priorities.
'Cause
You
fuck-
can't
Must
launder money through
preserve
Hawaii.
Democracy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck the American population.
Oh, that's
unless
not
it's
true.
A blue state is the
You
message
can-
I'm getting.
Yeah, but you can absolutely launder money through Hawaii.
Yeah, but Hawaii is absolutely one of the bluest states you can have.
I know.
And they got, but the fire
Well,
in
they-
Maui
okay, there's a
definitely
reason-
knew to only burn poor people's houses.
Well,
Lahaina.
the reason behind that talks is because they wanted that land, and in LA there's a bunch of wealthy donors, and that's the reason why they're getting the white glove treatment. Also, Ghost Rider for $5 says environmental, social justice, virtue signaling, any progressive agenda is to blame. Then look up Smart LA 2028. The high-speed rail line also matches the map of the fires.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
that's true.
Yep. Oh, Mr. Tickletrunk thinks that the lesbian on the panel is hilarious.
Oh, I
Could
do
be
too.
any one of the four of you.
The lesbian used to be on camera, but now it's just showing us their. What is that flag that Matt has?
I keep wanting to call
Wow,
Matt
you need to put
Ezekiel.
on your avatar glasses to see it better.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. Tox is the biggest lesbian out of all of us. So I mean, there's that.
I am what I eat. Oh, wait a
Culture
second.
out of
Oh, you eat Lesbos?
That's
Who is
man.
it, who said never let a good disaster go to waste to screw people?
Oh.
I
That
just,
was Winston Churchill, wasn't it?
was it?
No, well, I don't know. It's one of these WEF truckers.
I thought it was Barack who made that line famous.
No, there's
I hear he and Mike are getting divorced.
I think he copied it off Tony Blair. That
Wait a
line.
minute, Big Mike is going to divorce who?
Barack.
was that
Really?
like a,
Big
like a
O.
rumor?
That's the
confirmed?
rumor.
Yeah, it's a
on
rumor.
Brady. It's a rumor.
After
that
the way
should be-
that guy eats hot dogs, there's no way.
It's
Well,
how he
maybe
takes a hot
that's
dog.
why that guy was found in his backyard in the puddle. Maybe
Metaphorically.
he was cheating
Metaphorically,
on Mike
metaphorically.
with that guy.
It was a
Probably so.
metaphorical puddle.
The super strong swimmer.
Nick the Greek for $5. Apparently, Bill Burr also went off
Yeah,
on
he's a
people who
douche.
are. Yeah, I saw that too. Criticizing LA officials
What a puppet.
for mismanagement of the fire on Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah, I saw that. And Jimmy Kimmel cried again.
This is why I stopped paying attention to people I really enjoyed around 2015, 2019. I don't want to know anything they're doing now. I want to just conserve them in that little bubble when they were great and they didn't have TDS and they weren't, bananas, or at least I didn't know they were. You know what I mean?
Part is Bill Burr used to be like, I guess you could say like a moderate, somewhere in the middle, and then he got married to a far leftist, and he changed right along with her. So he basically got Yoko'd.
Yep, I'd say that. It's true.
That happens, unfortunately. So Jon Stewart went on the Daily Show, and one of the things that they're trying to do is make strings attached to this money, basically to force California to clean up their mess, right? Because this is one of the worst natural disasters, I don't think just in California, but in the United States, period. And we don't want it to happen again, okay? At the end of the day, this is obviously bad for California. It's bad for the people of California. 25 people have lost their lives. There is an untold amount of property damage that came as a result of this. And rather than going, hey, let's just continue down the same course, the government wants us to basically put strings attached to this money to say, hey, clean up your shit, okay? Go do the land management stuff. And of course, Jon Stewart has a bit of an issue with that. And he makes a really fucking retarded analogy talking about not Oklahoma, but Alabama. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, the problem is now Republicans appear to want to attach their "I told you so" as a condition of funding California's disaster relief. This isn't about "I told you so," though it kind of is, because people.
It's about making sure that you stupid idiots don't do it again.
Exactly. People have been warning about this for fucking years. Okay.
The fire chief had been warning about it. The one that they fired, the lesbian fire chief.
Yeah.
Who actually knew what she was talking about, that they fired because she mentioned it and came out and said that they had screwed all this up.
Yeah.
Now, whatever.
So fuck this guy. Because what the fuck is wrong with you? We're not clueless. Okay, we'll talk about Bill Burr of this, because he made some fucking said some stupid shit too. It's really easy. We know what the problem is. You refuse to address it, and we want to make sure this doesn't happen again. That's what's fucking wrong with us, you fucking retard. Anyway, he says, really, Senator from Alabama, the state near the bottom of math, reading, and test scores. Next time you get hit by a hurricane, why don't you have a little parent-teacher conference to say that if you don't do your get your scores up, you don't get your money. Okay, first off,
what's that got to do with anything?
I mean, it sounds like a good reason to get rid of the Department of Education.
Yeah, first off, fuck off. Education has nothing to do with this. If Alabama was doing something wrong, and basically they made the situation worse with a natural disaster, I would be like, yeah, dude, maybe we shouldn't do that.
But he knows he's playing to the leftist.
Nothing to do with natural fucking disasters.
He's playing to the leftist tactic. If you state that people like to make fun of his stereotype, associate that with bad education, and then say, hey, look, see, these people have bad education, so of course they're not the smart ones in them. He's trying to use them as a way to deflect off the people he's trying to stand up for. He's trying to make sure the Democratic Party in California get none of the blame. And hey, look, don't listen to those people. They're stupid. Yeah, they're stupid people. Don't listen to them. Listen to us. We know what's actually wrong. What's actually the problem? It's an absolutely. I'll say, to me, it is a leftist tactic. It just is. No, right wingers have their own tactics.
Whataboutism.
But
yeah,
it is. You know what? Everyone, and that's the thing. Now, whataboutism, everyone does that to some degree, and that drives me crazy.
Well, when it's a legitimate comparison, yes, this ain't it.
Well,
this is just, well, look over there.
The thing that I find so stupid about all this is that they keep wanting to blame climate change, and everybody with half a fucking brain knows has nothing to do with climate change. It has everything to do with the fact that they've been mismanaging the land and leaving the shit around, and they know that fires happen in Los Angeles and around the area. This is not new. I mean, back in the 80s and 90s, when my dad lived in California and I would go and visit him, there were constantly under threat of basically forest fires and shit. Okay,
Right.
because of the droughts that were going on.
Comics, you have to admire the fortitude, the intestinal fortitude that they have to stick with this losing narrative all the way down. They are going down with the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And Tickle Trunk makes a point. It's not a leftist tactic. It's a partisan tactic. There are plenty of people who are leftists, civil libertarians, things, stuff like that, who agree that you need to take land management and all that stuff. Things.
Well, even Cenk Uygur was calling this shit out, and
which was great that he was doing that. I'm glad that he was,
and because we let stuff go so far in this insane, crazy narrative that everyone who's sane on whatever your political persuasion is can agree that you people fucked up. We hired you to do a job, and the one person who really seemed to know what she was talking about and was fighting to get the money and said we would have these problems and all that stuff and everything, who happened to be a lesbian, was the chief of the fire chief, and this inept mayor fired her for calling her out. That the rampant political corruption because of the competency crisis that we have in our political, and it's gone down into our social services and our civil services. Social services, I could give a rat's ass about until I get Social Security. But civil service, that's the whole reason we come together in a society, and that those of us who are very much anti-tax and civil libertarians will allow government to be around in that little tight box that we won't let them out of.
Oh, sweet summer child, do you think you're getting Social Security?
Hey, man, I'm old. All you guys out there, you better pay in, damn it. Keep it up there. I've paid in at least $20. I get my $5 million. Biggest Ponzi scheme of all time. Fuck FDR. Well, not really. I'm not going to do that, but
Yep.
That's necromancy. That's bad.
Yeah. I could do the Daily Show thing. I can run down all the congressional people and senators on the right calling for conditions on disaster aid.
Yes.
That absolutely had the opposite view when it was their state on the line. Well, first off, those states that had those disasters didn't basically exacerbate the situation. Okay.
There's
a difference between a hurricane and a forest fire. First off, I for the most part, when it comes to a hurricane, there's really not much you can do. When it comes to a forest fire, there's certain things you could do to try and mitigate the fire from getting worse. And that's what the issue is. And that's the thing that he's obviously not saying, right? Is that there's certain things that can be done in certain situations that can't be done in others. But he's trying to make this a red versus blue thing, of course. But there's other things I want to point out too. There's East Palestine, where we had that derailment in a huge fuck up there, and literally nobody did anything. You know, when they started to do something was when Trump went out there and made them all look bad. And then suddenly Pete Buttigieg was like, oh, maybe I should go visit East Palestine.
Look, the problem is that people who are unqualified for the jobs they've been given, they're fine with the status quo until they look bad and it threatens their job. But they're happy to continue to exploit a system that will reward them when they provide nothing and only virtue signal. That's exactly what happened in that situation and everywhere else.
Yep.
Right?
True.
We need a return to sanity, to people who think about what their actions would or could deliver, or their lack of action could or will deliver. And in this situation, everybody knew this was a problem. Yep. And we were lied to from day one, including by Adam Schiff, Karen Bass, Governor Newsom, and everybody else involved in this. And do you know what those people all have in common? A particular ideological lock. They're in lockstep on their pseudo religion that they believe in, right?
I mean,
Comics.
at the end of the day, I would love for us to, as Americans, to put aside our differences, put aside our politics, and come together and fix the situation.
Yeah.
If that was done equally for all the issues that we've been running into. I mean, we've mentioned the whole thing with what happened with Maui, and of course, Hawaii is very much a blue state, and the people there got screwed, and the reason why is because again they wanted the land that belonged to the people there. That way they can go buy it on the cheap and build a bunch of fucking condos or hotels or something. I don't know. And then you have the stuff.
The
that
white
happened in
men
North
take
Carolina.
more of my land.
Yes. And then you had the stuff in North Carolina where they didn't do anything, right? And the only reason why Biden stepped up and said, "Oh, we're gonna make sure that we make the situation right," is because there's a lot of Democratic donors in LA that had their homes burned down. And notice how also Gavin Newsom basically said, "Oh yeah, that permitting process, don't worry about it, rich people.
Yes.
You're fine. We got you covered. It's all right."
Well, indeed, that's what they always do, though.
Yep.
The rules are for the rules are for thee and thou, but not for me and mine. Don't worry about
It
the
definitely
rules.
is that. Yeah.
It's like the old Britannia waves the rules. They used to say,
Yeah.
rule Britannia.
I love this next line that he has. He says it goes, I'm not even going to do it because red states are always tragic victims of circumstance outside of their control, because they typically are. And Democrats always vote for their aid, and that's great, and we should.
What?
That's the right
Well,
thing
really?
to do.
Do they? Mhm.
But
They didn't vote a fucking dime for the people
Yeah,
in
he's
North Carolina.
Yeah,
There you
or
go.
Florida.
Or
I mean,
Florida.
come on. The southern
Yeah.
states just got their ass kicked multiple times by hurricanes this year, and FEMA fucking held up their middle fingers to anybody that they didn't politically align with. So fuck Jon Stewart. It is
even-
irritable.
Jon Stewart is living in 6 to 8 years ago Democrat land.
Yes.
He is not
Even-
living in current stuff.
Longer ago than
Even-
that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Probably 2030, maybe.
Even
Go
if
ahead.
Jon Stewart was right about that, it doesn't excuse incompetence
Yes.
and a lack of responsibility and accountability for the current disaster. That makes the two things are entirely separate.
Look at Florida. They had all those hurricanes come through, and the system, boom, done.
Well,
Florida had that horrible 2,000 vote thing. They haven't had a problem counting votes since then.
Well, it's because they wouldn't fucking fix the problem, right? I mean, look
exactly.
at DeSantis was like, you know what, you federal government, we don't need you. We got it covered. Okay, we got the situation covered. Obviously, that's something he didn't fucking bring up in this article, where he basically sent them packing. Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
Well, it's. I didn't think that they would do this to Americans. And they really just don't get it. I really, people like AOC and all that stuff, and then they didn't want to help the people in North Carolina. And you had the people that were skipping over Trump supporters' homes. I really didn't think when in a disaster, you would have people start being un-American.
Oh,
start
but it
hanging
was
out
for their
Americans.
safety talks. Didn't you know? It's because of safety
Right.
reasons.
So all they do that. But you had stories like James Woods, who said, "Hey, anybody going out there, all this stuff, we'll try and help, do all those kind of things." And Alyssa Milano's horses,
Yeah.
they got him saved.
Yeah.
He didn't give a shit.
Yep.
The fact that she's been dumb with all this crap, he just did it,
Well,
and
the
he
fact
helped
that they
other
snipe
people.
each other online all the time. I mean,
Right.
he's being human, right? And that's
And he
kinda
got it
great.
all the stuff and did from there. And what's happened is the Democratic Party has been taken over by people who are un-American.
But
They
that's
do
very
not
true.
believe in America. They do not believe in the American way and the American way of life. And the American way of life is freedom.
Yes.
All right. That's what it is. Freedom to, you come together, and there are certain basic morals we all have, like, no, you don't do stuff with kids, and, don't murder, don't do that stuff. And you come together to have basic services. But if somebody wants to go do something on their own over there, that's them. Right.
Yeah.
And do all that.
Because
I never thought I would see that, where someone who's been through multiple disasters would see people intentionally let others suffer.
Yeah.
And that's what I saw in North Carolina.
Well, and again, that's what they're trying to project onto the right, saying that they just want to see people suffer. No, we don't. And this is another important comment that he makes, because whereas blue state disasters are a function of their flawed morality and policy, yes. If this was a earthquake, completely different situation, right? Again,
Correct.
just like the hurricanes, no fucking control over the situation. The only thing you could do, as we see in areas like Japan that are prone to earthquakes rather frequently, you build buildings in such a way to be more resistant. That's, and that's
and your nuclear power plants.
Yeah. And that's basically what California has done as well, because of that. And it's basically to mitigate the loss of life, build destruction, et cetera, et cetera. But if this was an earthquake, nobody would be fucking complaining about any of this shit. Okay. Unless there was incompetent response to the situation. Very similar to this.
And there could be, because supplies and money required to combat put on such a response could have been misappropriated too, in the same way as it's been for this current crisis.
Right. The issue here is because of the mismanagement of the land exacerbated the fire and made it much, much worse. And that is the problem with this fire. And on top of the fact that they kept finding people with blowtorches and letting them go, apparently.
And for years, they've been withholding water and mismanaging the water, which is kind of required. To fight a fire.
Is it for a fire? Do you really need water?
Well, you could throw your own body on top of it, I guess.
Oh, did you see that one Skorsky helicopter that just completely missed the fire?
No.
It flew right past the fire and dumped everything on the street and the roads past it.
That was walking along the road. And
no, that was preventative. That was a preventative dump.
Preventative.
That way the fire won't burn the street and the sidewalk.
You don't want that asphalt to burn.
Two steps ahead.
And if we help blue state survivors, what message would that send? Well, that's not what people are saying. The issue is that people want to fix the fucking problem.
Oh, there we go, right there. Godzillionaire offering some real solutions. Fill the hydrants with almond milk. You're solid.
Who's going to milk those almonds? Oh, that's a lot of almonds to milk.
It's also going to produce a weak stream.
Oh.
Anyway, I'm going to skip down. So he does mention the whole thing with Kristen Crowley being a lesbian and people complaining about that. It's like, no, people don't give a shit that she's a lesbian. What they care about was her DEI initiative. That's what people are complaining about.
Yep.
Make arguments for things that people have never said, so you can not have to answer for the arguments that were made, so you can direct the conversation towards your way, then address the initial arguments.
Yep. Deflection. Yep. Tickle Jones right here. You help them regardless of how people will take it.
Yeah.
Because those are your fellow people. Period.
Yes, true.
Yes.
That's it.
True. 101%. I've made it very open and clear. I work in a company that is basically a leftist echo chamber, but just because I work at a company, if I can help someone out with something, I do it because it's my job, and I do still do my genuine best to help my fellow workers, because at the end of the day, we need to learn to work together and work with each other. They may all hate how I think and feel, the ones at least that know it, but we gotta learn to work together. We can't just think we're gonna be in a planet or a town where everyone agrees and thinks the same. So I always keep myself open to working with anyone. So even when I do some of my shows, not everyone on my Toxic Tuesday is right wing. There are some guys on my panel who are on the other side, but guess what? We also go on because we talks about toxic male movies. Thinking different can lead to doors of working there still. Shouldn't be a freaking wall.
I mean, I work with multiple vertically challenged people. And you don't see me, calling them names all the time and saying that they're short and making short jokes at all. You don't see that. Yeah, because Mrs. Flu might hurt me.
Yes. I know your wife. She will definitely hurt you.
Mr. Tickletrunk, this is not true. Spock bleeds green. We don't know.
It's not easy being green.
Having
to spend each day the color of the leaves. When I think it would be nicer being red or yellow.
You look a lot like Frank Oz.
That actually threw me off guard.
Or something much more colorful like that.
Because you're a chimpanzee filled with snakes.
Yeah, okay. That sounds like Jordan Peterson.
Well, that was Jordan Peterson.
So Matt didn't mean to back out. But I'm getting ready to bounce. So I'm going to call it a night. We'll see you, man. Thanks for being on, buddy.
He's not the only one. I've got to go. I've been here past my bedtime already. So.
Oh, no, Culture.
Culture gotta go.
I'm old. Look, I'm wearing a thermal in winter.
Old.
What's wrong with wearing a thermal winter?
I don't know.
He lives in a desert climate.
He doesn't need
it's
it
like
with all
90.
that weave. He doesn't need it with the weave.
No, it's
To be
not
fair, I'm
during
a
the
little
day.
warm
It's like,
right now.
below 0 at night because he lives in a fucking desert.
It is supposed to be minus 6 degrees
hey,
here.
Tell me the
Sunday.
difference between these two images.
They're both gay.
What do you think?
I think you could pull it off.
I think you
I
could.
think so too.
I'm not sure about that random mic stand you have, but
I feel like I wanted to come across in stereo.
Empress Man wants to know how your pants are pulled up.
Oh no, no. I still have a waist. What the hell? Come on now.
I'm sure there were other memes of Culture.
That wasn't a meme. That
Oh,
was
there
me.
were tons.
Or image.
I used to have a manager who used to wear up his pants like he was Kylo Ren before Kylo Ren.
Speaking
so
of
he was wearing
Kylo
hammer
Ren,
pants.
can I ask a question? After being stabbed by a lightsaber, why do you beat on yourself in the solar plexus with your shirt off?
Why is he beating himself off? I have no idea.
No, he took his whatever that weird shirt thing off is. He's got like been stabbed with a lightsaber, and he's like beating the hell out of his solar plexus.
What
freaking
were you?
weird.
Wow, I'm clipping that.
What?
Oh, Los Angeles is saved.
How? Oh.
Yay, Meghan Markle. Thank you, Meghan.
Hey, why does anybody bring a bazooka to a fire reaction?
Fire reaction.
Well,
Is
I
it
mean,
like
it's
a
not like she
reaction
can
to a
do
fire?
shit. She's just reacting to the fire. Hey,
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 Chrysanthus here.
we
What's
want
up,
our
Chrysanthus?
privacy. Privacy. That's such a great
Hmm?
episode. So
You wanted your what?
In the private.
the privacy tour. Man's cock wins first prize.
It wasn't hard, says birthday boy. There you go.
Yeah, well, you know.
Seriously.
Anyway, I don't know how to, I don't know how to deal with that one. I'm just gonna say it this way.
If anyone on this panel knows how to deal with cock, it's you.
That's true. I market it. I'm telling you, I am the front and center foremost cock marketing that you're ever gonna find. You can get your own.
100%.
You can get your own cock hat. Almost everywhere that is called
Beachpunk.com.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That
You know what?
absolutely get it there.
One man to
Just
rule
go
the
back to
cocks.
say rooster.
Rooster?
Rooster.
Rooster. Yeah.
Oh, thanks for putting the Barbie ornament hat up.
Yeah. Oh, I've been throwing that up there like daily.
That's nice. Makes me feel good.
Yeah, it works.
Are you guys going to put those sequined Christmas stockings that I gave you up
Of
on
course,
your trees
I'm
next
gonna
year?
hang. I'm gonna hang it up by the chimney with care. Well,
Chimney.
He's gonna hang it by the chimney with flair.
With flair. Anyway, so look, check out my channel, Culture Casino. If you're not subscribed, please do so. First of all, it helps my esteem, but also it gets me closer to 100K. And apparently, I'm doing something incredibly embarrassing at 100,000 subscribers, and you don't want to miss
Full
that.
body wax.
No, I'm not doing that.
Is it really possible to tie your penis in a knot like that?
Well, you can tie it in a bow.
Very,
Throw it over
very,
your shoulder
very
like a
small
continental
bow.
soldier.
I'm just saying.
You can tie it in a bow that Tinkerbell can wear.
Okay, for all you video games enthusiasts, people,
Enthusiasts.
you will find that there is good news at BioWare. Well, at least, most likely.
Are they closing down? That would be good news
I'm
this
going to
point.
say Canada is going to lose another gaming studio in the near
Are
future.
they selling the
No,
Mass
is
Effect
it
IP
BioWare
to somebody?
Vancouver?
Edmonton.
Okay.
Edmundchuk. Are they going to sell Mass Effect to somebody who's actually going to do a decent job?
No,
with the next one?
well, okay. So rumor has it that the T girl, known as Corrine Bush,
Mhm.
is out.
T girl who could teabag.
Who's T Girl? You're gonna have to remind me on that one.
Karine Bush.
I have no idea who that is. Was she running
narrative
things?
She is the failure center point and focal point for BioWare for the game Dragon Age: The Fail Guard.
Oh,
so yeah, so they guess virtue signaling comes with some financial downside.
I love
but isn't she the best thing that ever happened to RPGs according to PC Gamer?
Yeah, all the woke weirdos. Yeah, indeed. In fact, so I
She
tweeted
rules
it.
them.
I tweeted it based on Smash JT's dropping of a video and Hypnotic dropping stuff and a few other people reacting to it, including Grums.
I want to hear you talking about it tomorrow morning.
Talk about it.
It's too late. You've done it now, so we don't. Have
Well,
to
no,
watch
I will
that.
talk about it in depth.
Ladies and gentlemen, remember, as Culture Casino always says, gay sex is literally twice as manly as straight sex.
It's twice as ugly, that's for sure. Holy cow. Anyway, to all of our gay and lesbian audience out there, I know I didn't offend you, and unlike Bill Burr, I care about you.
I don't know. Tickle Trunk seems pretty offended.
He's fine.
Okay.
And
he'll just like slather himself with some more maple bacon or something. and
I
he'll
have
be
to
all
tell
right.
you right
Maple
now,
bacon.
butter is not the kind of lubricant you think it is. Just ask Neil Gaiman.
Oh God.
On that note, I
What
gotta
a
go.
fucking horrible person.
Gosh,
Butter
that
has
story got
has a
terrible.
low burn point.
You
Oh
don't
my
even know
God.
how bad that story got. Like,
Oh no, I read the entire fucking article, dude.
I read it.
Holy shit.
What a filthy person. My gosh.
God.
Reprehensible human being. Anyway. Yeah, you can let me go now.
Have you got time for a stiff one before you go to sleep?
Wow.
A drink?
Yes.
All right.
I don't know. I probably should have one. I'm really exhausted, but you know what's weird is before the show I watched Equalizer 3.
Oh, that's my next week's Toxic Tuesday.
It is such a great movie.
It's so good.
If you have not seen it, you're gonna the cinematography alone is a masterclass in how to present cinema.
It's
so
like a
well done.
Western, but with
It is.
Denzel Washington.
Truly. And Denzel Washington is the only one that should play Robert McCall now that we've lost the original star of the television program. But he was more than an adequate replacement back when we didn't care when, well, they race swapped or whatnot. Because
He was pretty good in Magnificent Seven too.
He's
that
always
remake.
good.
Yeah.
Hey,
I don't know. I'm not a big man. I'm not a big fan of Denzel. I liked him in.
Oh, dude, Denzel's the best.
I liked him in
Depends on the
Book
movie.
of
I mean,
Enoch.
he's like great in Man on Fire. I mean,
I didn't like him in Training Day. The one he.
Oh,
I
that's
did
his
not like
best
that.
performance, dude.
What?
Training Day, he was a 10 out of 10 in
What
that.
was it where he took over for his he was the valet and the body man for a gangster, and then he became American Gangster.
American
Yes,
Gangster.
him
that was
and
good.
Russell Crowe.
Awesome movie.
Yeah, I just it's something about Denzel. But anyway, yeah. So like I'm cycling through movies right now. Somebody tried to tell me, this would be Mr. H and those guys, that this Dog Soldiers film was a great movie, and I'm not agreeing because I know I'd seen it before. But if you're not familiar, it's a werewolf movie.
Yes.
And
I'm
we
aware.
got on that subject because this Wolfman movie that just came out is a complete piece of dog shit.
No pun intended.
No, it was intended.
It might hump your leg,
but
too.
but the idea of werewolves fighting a platoon of men, not really a platoon, a unit of trained soldiers. That's what this thing's all about. And it literally, I'm like almost an hour into this thing, and I am like, could we get to the point, please? It is the slowest burn. I mean, this thing has echo quality to it right now so far. So I'm really unenthused. Anyway, it is what.
Well,
But
on
let
that
me
note,
go. This is like 20 minutes of outro. I could have been asleep by.
No cock.
Anybody?
Yes, I can definitely smell shite.
I did take it. I said no cock.
Now the show has no cock.
It took like 20 minutes for him to leave. You know, culture's like the relative at the family party says, "Okay, we're gonna go," and he takes 30
3
minutes to
days
say
later,
goodbye
they're
to
still there.
everyone.
He's like that drunk uncle that keeps sniffing the young women. Oh wait, that's our president. Never mind. Sorry.
Sorry.
Bad. I get them confused sometimes. All right. Jeez.
I like Darren. It always gives me enough time to make popcorn.
I had a nap.
All right, Mod Eric for $1 says, "Have y'all seen the latest thing?
Oh,
in
that's
the
funny.
Palestine Hamas flag, first
that's
people
hilarious.
are drawing a dildo in the fist."
Yes,
It's
yes.
hilarious.
Well, I heard that
It's in Canada. They're doing that.
our soon-to-be former president is taking credit for something that Donald Trump has done, which is absolutely hilarious.
Here, I'll show you.
Oh my God, that's fucking funny.
It's hilarious.
Unknown
we should probably take that down.
activists
We should probably
have
take
been
that down.
adding drawings of penises to symbols of solidarity of Palestine. This has sparked a wave of outrage in the Arab segment of X.
If
and
there's
no
one
one
thing
cared.
we know how to do, what to do in Canada, it's to draw penises.
That's true.
That is hilarious.
Oh, look at an
Magna
uncircumcised
Norris
one. Yeah,
for
that's good.
$5. John is taking money from the Dems. He stops spewing nonsense, then pulls his funding.
They're all exactly same with Bill Burr, though. I mean, he's ABC Disney employee at the end of the day, isn't he? He gets money from them for shows and stuff. So.
I guess
He does now. He was in Mandalorian.
Yeah, but
Subhuman. I jerked off 3 times during.
hey, that's some impressive stamina.
So did culture.
Oh, there it is.
Well, verbally, maybe. I mean, he's lucky if he gets only 1.5 out at this point. Especially at that age.
No wonder he was so tired.
Yeah. Love you, culture.
Boy.
Pinochet is looking up to us for $5. I get come together, but Americans are far too forgiving and naive. We need to start demanding government employees and politicians pay dearly when punished.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. What was the penalty for felony in 1793? I don't know.
Death.
Was it death?
Yeah.
Okay.
Death by umbongo.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, the people who mismanage this should be drummed out of politics and probably go to prison for what they've done. But it's obviously that's not.
Did you see the video of the Georgia senator?
Oh God,
Georgia,
this is terrible. Yeah.
Who was not let onto the floor, and they assaulted him, threw him to the ground, and arrested him.
And he was assaulted. It was an actual.
This was
assault.
the guy that exposed Fannie Willis.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
And the Georgia GOP kicked him out for doing it.
Yeah. But they've got no right to ban
They are so
an elected
corrupt down there.
representative from entering the chamber.
And he
to
showed it. He said,
represent
you
his
can't do that.
own constituents.
Right.
Yeah.
And he said it was called there. They didn't, and they have no right to throw him out and do all that stuff. And I'm
He
like,
was
dude.
actually physically assaulted.
Yeah, the
that's crazy.
sergeant at arms or whatever actually pushed him to the ground.
He was tripped and then pushed, so he didn't even see it coming. He was tripped up and then pushed. So,
Wow.
yeah, this is what happens when you disturb the cozy club in certain assemblies.
Which is both parties.
Yeah. Yes,
Both parties.
In that case, yes, both there. Yeah.
That just shows you how corrupt Georgia politics are.
Yeah, it's really fucked up. That's for sure. Let me get through the rest of these. Brian says for $2, Scientology doing a photo op, but not helping too. Yeah, go figure. CO2 the Raptor says sent an email. We'll definitely check it out before we end the stream. Thank you, sir. Nick the Greek says culture is super gay and wrong. Dog Soldiers is great.
It's pretty good.
Not
a bad movie.
Actually, not seen that in a very long time. GV Monster for $5 with all the things we heard about Neil Gaiman. I have just one question. Did he take any pictures with Diddy? Blood of Dawnwalker looks interesting. Yeah, that was the trailer we wanted to play on Monday, and we'll talk about that in a sec. Basically the people who actually developed The Witcher 3 is working on Dawnwalker, and yeah, it looks great. It looks like a fucking amazing game. But before we talk about that, I kind of wanted to do a bit of a follow up to my video, talking about what was going on with the whole, poll that was on Twitter from the people that did the Lords of the Fallen game. And this is something I didn't realize, that the game itself was actually already out. And they're going to go and retroactively change the game from body type A to body type B to male and female. Which is basically completely unheard of a studio going and walking something like this back. So seriously, props to them to actually listening to their audience, because it was pretty overwhelming, the fact that people just did not like body type A, body type B.
And it's overwhelmingly been rejected by
and the fact that this is a published game, not a game in development like I thought it was. This game has actually been out. With over 49,000 votes, 88% of you said you prefer male/female choices. As a player-first studio, which is what a gaming company should be, we will update Lords of the Fallen 2023. That's when the game came out. And future titles in the series accordingly. Stay tuned. Wow. Holy shit.
It's a step in the right direction, yep.
A company that is actually listening to their customer base. It's fucking amazing. And this is 2025. It's current year where you're supposed to fucking hate your customer.
You know who started doing that?
Hating the
Elon
customer?
Musk.
Yeah.
Start doing it on Twitter. Well, okay, if you guys do this, however you vote, that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Worked.
And Elon, there's a lot of things we can criticize with Elon. I know that he had a bit of a spat with Asmongold, and Asmongold, he lost his blue check. And honestly, there's times where I'm like, is he just fucking with people? Because ultimately he just gives it back.
I was a little bit suspicious about that whole thing, like the two of them going back and forth. It got a lot of attention for both of them.
It did.
And initially, at face value, I'm not really wild about the badge, but if it is ultimately just a troll, then obviously Tom will be the deciding factor of that. But yeah, I do get concerned of that stuff, because we don't need that to happen, because that kind of detracts from the point, assuming that it's a permanent thing, why he purchased Twix, because he even said we initially had the purchase go through that he even wanted people who he considered his not people who are so supportive of him to have a voice on the platform. And granted, it doesn't take his voice away, but he was a paying customer, and he should still be able to keep that. So yeah, his voice is still there, but if he's paying for a service and he wants to give that money from you, you should still honor that.
Yeah. Well, and ultimately he did give the blue check back to him.
Oh, he did. Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I didn't know that. I thought it was still gone. Okay.
But a cynic would say, look how much traffic that drove to Asmongold and his Twitter feed,
and maybe they'd have
his
done it
YouTube
that way.
channel. And,
It could be that
is kind of
Elon
concerning
Musk is just mentally unstable.
Well, if that's the case, then I think Elon, I get it. He knows how to make time for Twix, space stuff, cars. Now, obviously, Doge. I think he needs to not tweet as much. As times it can be entertaining, it can be. But I think right now he needs to focus on his other things and not worry about these types of people, because he's Elon Musk. He should be focusing on the greater picture of things. Yes, it's entertaining, but now we're starting to say where it could become slightly annoying. Just slightly annoying.
It's counterproductive.
Yeah, especially for a guy like him with all his accomplishments, and I don't want to ever take that away from him. Especially he did give a lot of people their voice back. A lot of people do forget he did give Jordan Peterson, the Babylon Bee, Alex Jones, what was that doctor from the Kung Flu?
Well, Alex Jones,
Robert Malone.
Eventually.
Eventually.
He
but
let him back on.
Still, he gave it. He gave him that. Whether it took long or not, he came around to it. I'm gonna give that credit where it's due. He gave
Captain
all these
Palsy's
people their
right.
voice
Elon
back.
spazzes out sometimes.
And and that's right. That's something he's always done. Whether he is pre Trump days or current Trump day, he's always spaz. So that's fine. Whatever. We all have our moments. So, and he is a human being at the end of the day, even if he doesn't seem like it.
Yeah. Well, and at the end of the day, this is something I've said when he initially bought Twitter. He's a billionaire playing billionaire games, right? Is what it comes down to. How out of touch is he? I don't know. He's a billionaire. I don't think he goes and picks up his own groceries. He probably has somebody else do it for him because the guy's probably super busy. But at the end of the day, I know people kind of compared him to Jack Dorsey, rightfully so for what's going on, but he hasn't outright banned anyone yet, which is good. And ultimately, when he does something dumb, he ends up walking it back, which I do think is important. But again, there's plenty to criticize with him. He really should not be doing it to begin with. But it is what it is. But is he as bad as Jack Dorsey? Not my opinion, but there's still plenty to criticize with him.
Oh, absolutely. Still is. Oh, yeah. There's still some issues with the platform as far as like, the banning's going. Granted, it's better, but there's still some issues with it. And it is nice to see that the community note has been a big improvement. It's not always accurate, but it's nice to see that. Sure, you're not saying just strictly Jack Posobiec, let's just say, quote unquote, being fact checked. You're seeing Elizabeth Warren get community noted left and right, left and right.
Getting fucking fact
checked. Elon, and that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yep. No one should be exempt from it. Fine. I have no issues with that. That is probably, in my opinion, the biggest improvement is everyone is not exempt from having that community note slapped to their posts rather than just pretend only one side says things wrong ever.
All right. Let's go and check out the Witcher replacement. This is coming from Bounding into Comics. So Rebel Wolves is the company that the former director of The Witcher 3 started, and there is a lot of people from CD Projekt Red that basically jumped ship after Cyberpunk. He jumped ship, I believe, in 2022 to start this company. Yeah, and it looks pretty good. Again, obviously the game's not out yet. It could still be a hot mess, as we've kind of seen with a lot of. Where's the video, man?
Well, the trailer looked great, and as you say, we're all so gun shy now that we have to wait and see. But so far, now all I expect is I look at something like this and say, well, at least it's kept me interested.
Right.
It hasn't immediately driven away. I loved some of the flourishes in it that were very Witcher-esque, including some of the use of certain voices and music themes. Like the quest, which was quest completed sound in Witcher 3 was very used towards the end of this trailer for something. So there's some very Witcher-esque feeling to it, real Witcher, as opposed to what the next one may be.
Right. So yeah, there's some stuff from the article I want to read because it kind of gets into some details of the game, which I think is really interesting. Some really innovative gameplay that they kind of talk about. So let's check this trailer out. And it's a bit of, it's kind of long, it's 4 minutes, but it's the cinematics of it look fucking fantastic. And I love the concept behind it. It's set in the Carpathians, which is cool.
Carpathian forest.
Yeah, and obviously this is cinematic. There's a tiny bit of gameplay.
Well, you get a taste of the gameplay at the very end.
It looks great. It's dark.
Yeah. Well, in
adult, tense. It's not fluff.
Okay, so if you don't know anything about the Carpathians, I mean, it's right in basically vampire country, which is just so perfect of a setting for a medieval fantasy around vampires. So this is great. And it's taking place during, I guess, the height of the plague as well.
It's all right.
Blanca! Don't hurt her!
You gave us quite the chase, young.
Please, sir. She's just a child.
Roderick, remind me, did I make an exception for children?
No, sire.
No. That would have been foolish. would it not? They spread the plague just as well as adults. And there's only one way to stamp out this sickness. No!
Love that. Sort of
Not
visual cue of
just
the
a
person in the
runner, but
window
a
and the
fighter,
gun.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Had we met under a different moon, things might have ended there.
Yes, you should have just stopped talking right there.
What was that?
He should have stopped talking, but he had to keep talking, didn't he?
Yeah.
You had to keep talking.
Yeah.
This is what we want. That's a nice touch.
Yeah, that was pretty badass.
I like that. See, it makes you want to play it. That's
yeah, it does.
My sister. She needs help. Fast. Please, let us pass through. I beg of you. Please. Please.
Pause it real quick. When I first watched this trailer, I thought things were going to go a completely different direction.
well,
So-
indeed, that's the impression you get, but there's an
Yeah.
ambivalence.
Part of it is I wasn't sure if he was basically just healing her or turning her into a vampire, because I figured she
Yeah.
was basically going to turn and eat him.
Yeah, but that's why it makes a great
don't know.
trailer.
What's that?
It's why it made a great trailer. It's that ambivalence.
Mhm.
You don't know. You don't know exactly what's going on or what's going to happen.
Right.
It's great. Proper trailer.
How?
I am life. I am death. I am everything in between. I have been watching your little valley. Pestilence, famine, killing. Blood spilled carelessly like water. Things will be different now. For all of you.
Yeah, that sound there, that's very out of The Witcher. That high-pitched female voice. Needs what it fears. Perfect.
And this is where we actually get into the gameplay footage. Alpha footage, I should say.
Yes.
That's fucking badass.
Oh, look at that.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah, that's a true successor.
Yep.
The way it looks is the true successor to the Witcher series. Very interesting.
Yeah, we get a gameplay reveal coming this year in the summer, which is going to be fantastic. One thing that they get into is that I think Cohen is the guy's name.
Yeah.
Trent, no.
He looks strangely pale to me and male for a character.
Yeah,
in
go
a game.
figure. Oh, okay. No, it was actually.
There weren't any white people in Carpathia.
No.
Yeah. It was the that Park Place article. I'm going to pull that up. That actually got into some of the story a bit, which I thought was kind of really neat about it. Player steps into the boots of Cohen, a daywalker who straddles the line between humanity and vampirism. Armed with an arsenal of vampiric abilities and traditional combat skills, Cohen navigates a kingdom overrun by the Black Death and ruled by a vampire cabal led by the ruthless Lord Brensis, I think is how you pronounce that. The narrative setup feels like a perfect blend of gritty medieval realism and supernatural power fantasy without any overt pandering to a modern audience.
Yeah.
Let's
It's dark,
see.
it's consequential, it's not pandering. It looks cinematically, it looks great. It's not got anybody like the Veil Guard ranting on at you. We don't think so far about.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's
I
a
doubt it.
trailer.
We'll
But I
see,
doubt
yeah.
it. I doubt it. That would be a very big bait and switch if this didn't turn out to be what it appears to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, a
All right.
big one.
The trailer, which appears to serve as the game's opening cinematic, introduces Cohen alongside his plague-stricken sister Lunka. It hints at a story's emotional core, a desperate race against time to save his family, adding a unique twist to the RPG formula. Blood of the Dawnwalker emphasizes a ticking clock mechanic where players must make meaningful choices as they race to achieve their goal within 30 days in-game days. Time itself impacts not only the outcome of the quest, but also Cohen's abilities and even the overall narrative. It's a bold innovation that harkens back to the narratives of complexity of The Witcher 3 while carving out its own niche. That's the thing that's pretty badass about it, is the idea that you have like this ticking clock and 30 in-game days to basically to do certain things, and it's going to greatly impact the outcome of the game. And they're basically saying that no two playthroughs will be the same.
Interesting.
Every playthrough will be different.
And I'm wondering how big a world it can be then. Not that it has to be huge, because there's been this super open world stuff has gone too far in many games, because it's just been empty worlds full of like
so you have
Starfield.
30 days.
So that's time limited, which is quite interesting.
Agreed.
Yeah, nothing says I'm going to keep you indoors and make you playing my game longer than giving you a time limit.
Well,
it's in the game,
in-game days, not actual 30 real life days.
Although if they made it 30 in real life, that would be interesting too.
That's what I would do. I mean, how I would do a video game today is the real life game mapping and all that kind of stuff. Things from there. Once you have that there, then you can continue to add to the map. But similar to the Harry Potter, how the Hogwarts stairs change all the time, I would change the game. Every so often, change the game. So how you would come into it, it would be set for you for 30 days. And then game changes after that. And then you truly do not have the same gameplay ever. And it would just call it life.
Yeah.
Because that's basically what it would be. Life changes.
Well, and I love the idea behind the fact that no two playthroughs will be the same. You know, that's kind of interesting based off the different choices that you make in game. So,
yeah, but I mean, I know a little bit about programming and how all that stuff works and all those things. It's pretty easy to make it to where your playthrough in these games are not the same. So, I think why they don't do it is a lack of imagination.
It's interesting for me because typically when I play RPGs, I typically tend to go for the best outcome.
Well, most people.
So it's just the kind of guy I am. And even if I play them multiple times, I very rarely veer off too far from that and do the really shitty things that cause the horrible outcomes. So to be kind of not forced to, but to play it again and find you weren't going to be able to do that would be interesting. It would be it would be quite liberating for me, I think, to play it that way. Like, okay, well,
What, to play as a girl?
Yeah, well, how do you know I don't?
Well, I'm just saying.
I mean, I play as a girl, not the character on the screen.
Well, what I'm saying is that as a video game developer, you should be able to, take control of the camera and tell the player that if you're not in drag, you don't get to go through that. That's how you beat the boss.
You should have to.
Oh,
not the character in the game.
Where they kind of force you to basically transition for some reason.
That's right.
That's right.
You got to transition from there.
in a sense, that's what some of these games have said, like Veilguard. You know, you're not don't play it if you don't see yourself in this. Well, you know, in the sense they're trying to force that, but
after 30 days, you get a bum knee and high cholesterol.
But yeah, so it would be kind of nice to be forced to make some different decisions. I always say, this time I play this game, I'm going to do a real badass whatever. I just I can never be the renegade.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm sorry, Newton Van Hammer. I just can't do it.
Trying to remember which zombie game it was. I have to go look it up. It was the one that takes place at the mall. You know, the photographer. If anyone remembers the name of that game. But the thing that was really interesting about that game is that there's like a lot of things. You have to go out and like save survivors, and if there is a timer. Like if you don't do certain things, people end up dying. And yeah, it's that was fun. It was a difficult game. I mean, that was definitely a game where it's like your actions or inactions greatly impacted the game. Dead Rising, thank you. That's what it is. And that was some very innovative gameplay, you know, back in years and years and years ago. And I want to say that they're doing a remake of Dead Rising, and I think they're fucking it up too.
I can get by without too much innovation if I get a quality product with a great story and great characters. So that's just me. Other people may be looking for novelty all the time. I think the quality of the game is more important necessarily than having some great new, shooting mechanic or whatever. But that's because I don't play that kind of game. Maybe if you play co-op shooters all the time, first-person shooters, you're probably looking for something different in that respect. I don't know. I'm an RPG guy.
I don't know. The last time I played video games, you didn't even understand if Yar was male or female or the Space Invader dude. So, you know, there weren't enough pixels to determine gender. So there you go. Or breasts of any kind, you know.
Except for that one Atari game, was it General Custer's Wild Ride, where you had to go save or steal the naked Pocahontas?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that lasted in the arcades for all of 10 seconds.
I don't think it ever went to the arcades.
Yeah.
I think it was straight to Atari. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm very encouraged by this game so far. I guess if there's a gameplay trailer summer 2025, we're not going to see the actual game for at least another year or two after that.
It would be my guess. I would say maybe 3 years minimum at this
point. I wonder if it'll go head to
know.
head with Witcher 4. That would be interesting.
That would be interesting. And I'm trying to remember. I think it's Exodus. That's the
Exodus
Mass Effect like game that's being developed,
good.
and
Exodus
that's probably going to go head to head with Mass Effect 5, which is I'm not going to hold my breath on being good.
Well, if indeed BioWare are still around by then, that's the big question. But yeah, Exodus looks pretty good. Crimson Desert looks pretty good. There's a few, and I'm thinking more in the action RPG. And
that's what I prefer playing is action RPGs.
So there's a few things to look forward to. There's a couple of other things lurking around. They're not all Veilguards. So
thank God.
Yeah.
Veilguard. Oh my
Veilguard, yes. Yeah. But yeah, that's interesting news that if it's true that Corinne Bush has been gently discarded and let go.
Well, you can only lose money for so long, right? There just comes a certain point where you're not going to be able to do this, right? And bad things happen when you just print money and think everything's going to be okay. So, I mean, there's a reason why they're dumping all this money out to Ukraine now. They're dumping all this money out as much as he's out the door, because it's not going to happen anymore. This is a final payout for a bunch of these people. So,
yeah, they've had a lot already, so I'm sure they won't be hurting.
No, and we ain't gonna see any of that money back either. Zelensky's full of shit. He ain't gonna even give a penny back.
Nope. Yeah. No,
Can't believe
Hey, we
anyone
could've given
actually
it to a
hey,
nicer guy.
with all the amount of times our own government has absolutely fucked us with money. The fact that anyone was even gullible enough to believe that they would actually see money back from them blows my damn mind.
So this is interesting because I thought Bloodlines 2 was canceled. That was like a huge fucking disaster. I'm trying to remember who was running the show on that, but it was definitely a woke weirdo, and I heard that she left. But apparently they're still doing Bloodlines 2, and this is the male and female option, and they almost look exactly the same. It just looks like you have a skinny dude and a skinnier dude.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of men have got bigger boobs than that if that's what those are supposed to be. So
yeah,
but yeah, this is corporate have asked you to. This is the meme. Corporate have asked you to tell the difference between these two pictures.
Like legit, they look exactly the fucking same.
Yeah, it's well. I mean, you could say they're just lazy developers and they don't want to do too many body types. So let's just have one body type and pretend they're different.
No, but it's not because of laziness. It's because of ideology.
I know. But when did sexual attractiveness become evil? I don't know. That's a weird
feminism.
Weird one. Yeah.
I'm going with.
Yeah, I'd say that definitely started it.
They start complaining about the male gaze and stuff like that. I mean, this has been going on forever. It's just that it's just gotten popular is the issue. I mean, a lot of the stuff that we're running into now with be it social justice, gender ideology, it's existed since the 60s. And the difference now is that, the people on the left mocked it back in the 90s. I mean, they made fun. Saturday Night Live actually made fun of like certain consent things, like may I touch your hand? May I kiss you? Stuff like that. I mean, they were, they're making fun of the political correctness back in the 90s because, it did happen.
But
that stuff did pop up. But the issue is everybody mocked the shit out of it, which is why it went away. And of course, because current year happened, the left started adopting all this stuff.
Even in the 2000s, I was I knew people who were in the academic world that's what their thing was, gender studies, etc. And people they'd say, "Oh, one day we're going to meet you. You're going to all have to do this stuff. You're going to have to all bow to this stuff." And people, even them, would say, "Yeah." And this was people in that world, like progressives in the active. Oh, yeah, of course we will. Well, they were right. They eventually got everyone to bow down before it. So
they get everybody to bow down before.
Well,
but they got a lot.
They got a lot of levers of power. So
yeah. Well, and it's. This is the thing that's so fucked up about it is back in 2015 and 16 when all this started happening and we start seeing what was going on in the college campuses, here we are 9 years later and those very people that were being exposed got into the job market. They became hiring managers. They got into HR and they basically started peddling the ideology, which is why you basically had a bit of a hostile takeover. And these people are like legit the minority, but they've gotten themselves in the right positions of power to basically be able to push this influence.
They've been supported by people with tremendous power in order to use it as a tool to exploit others and get their way. So I mean, basic biology suggests that people are going to be attracted to each other, and there are certain body types that are more attractive to most people, I would suggest, and that includes people who are attracted to people of the same biological sex. So you can't fight nature whole. I can phrase it that way. Sexual attractiveness will probably make a comeback, I think.
Well, it kind of already is. I mean, Sydney Sweeney's like, you know what? I'm going to do sex scenes and nudity scenes in movies.
Yeah.
Well, good for her. I mean, that's great. I mean,
I agree.
People that basically.
I'm not going to tone down my masculine handsomeness just because I'm told as a progressive weirdo. And I don't care if it's men or I don't care if it's men or women.
Speaking of masculine handsomeness, holy shit, Chris Mead, you're gonna be 57
Wow.
next week. Holy shit, dude!
Hard to
I had no
believe,
idea.
Chris. Hard to believe.
Yeah, seriously hard to believe.
You don't look at day over 90.
Yeah. Let's make people attractive again. That should be the. Let's make attractiveness great again. Make attractiveness great again.
Yeah. Well, I
It's
mean,
a MAGA.
at the same time, not everyone needs to be super hot in
No.
video games, but you know, it helps. You know, but just don't make them ugly. You know,
Yeah,
I'm
don't
fine
make
with
it a
someone being
point
normal looking.
where that has to be the thing, where they have to be uglified. Like, there's a time, once again, all things on my moderation, time and place for it. Okay, you can have a raggedy character, but the thing is, it's obvious that it's being done very deliberately with intention. And then don't take our word for it. Just go and watch these interviews. They make it a point to say, "Oh, these people, they look like us. They reflect us." You know, all that bullshit. And we know,
That's
well,
not
ignoring that we play these things, we watch these things, we consume these things to get away from what we see.
Yeah, we don't want to play like that. We want to play games for escapism, not to be
If that's
same as we want to watch movies for escapism. We don't want to see people that look exactly like everybody around us. I would suggest, but
if your imagination stretches to the point where you need to see yourself, and then you just have no imagination. And I think that's definitely a key thing with a lot of them, is that they lack imagination because they're only told to see things 100% realistic to their personal standards. If they can't see themselves in it, well, then there's nothing that exists outside of that. So the bubble is, well, it's deliberate, and it makes their
Yeah.
bubble shrink even
I'm
more
not
so.
saying people should be derided or degraded because they don't happen to fit a standard of attractiveness that's impossible for most of us to achieve. That's not what we're saying. We're just
You know
saying
what?
that in terms of
dudes-
entertainment,
Some dudes are just ugly dudes. It happens. Like when I was in high school, you know, I was just around dudes. You know, women didn't talk to me. It wasn't like I had something against them, but it's just there was a bunch of other dudes who looked like Ken, and girls like to talk to Ken. So you know what? It was just the facts of
yeah,
life.
the fact
you know
of
what?
life
I
is it was the
accepted that.
tall, cool guys that got a lot of the action, and even if they were shits,
Yeah.
that's just the fact of life. That was the way it was.
Well, the other thing too, I mean, you've seen the guy that's basically not that attractive, but he's got some like smoking hot girlfriend.
Oh yeah, I know some of those guys.
And a
Shout
lot
out
of
to
it
them.
is because the fact that they have self confidence, right?
That's a big
If you're
thing,
ugly
yeah.
as sin, but you're confident as fuck, you can get hot women.
Well, it helps to have a 12-inch penis.
You know who was good at that when it came to talking to women? Klobby was. Ask Klobby. Oh, sorry, not you can't clap because unfortunate events.
Yes.
But ask Stone Loki or
Well, we
Mexican
were
Iron
talking
Man
about that on
Midnight
Mead
Edge.
earlier,
Oh
yeah.
man, dude, Klobby had
He just
game.
had the gift. of the
Holy
gab,
crud, that man! You wouldn't think it, if you'd seen him, but that dude, holy crack, he had a way with us. He was like a godfather when it came to the
I
ladies.
had a good friend of mine named Donnie.
Yeah.
Not a very attractive man, cool as hell, but he could hook up with some pretty hot chicks.
Some dudes, man, it's just it's a
12-inch dick.
confidence game with those guys. Some of them, they just
he was just confident.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
you got to respect that. I respect
well,
the game.
Not
Look
only
at that guy.
he had a very unique look to him too. Okay, because Donnie, had a lot of piercings and did some body modification. He actually split his tongue. So
Jeez.
yeah,
That could come in handy.
That
You
was
never
a bit of a
know.
party
That could
trick in an icebreaker.
It
you
could
know?
come in handy.
Yeah, could come in handy.
Yeah,
Man,
I mean,
miss
look
that
at
dude.
look at that guy that Salma Hayek's married to. He's as ugly as sin. I don't know what she sees in him.
Oh, money.
It could be the billion. It could be he's a billionaire. I don't know. But in the gaming stuff, I could even accept a little bit of the body type thing with having, if the faces weren't so hideous.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're really screwed with the faces in these games, and they make the like Mass Effect Andromeda. They were definitely hit with the ugly stick in that. It was like, oh well, it's just the way it has to be programmed. It's nothing to do. We've not done that
Well, it's
deliberately.
like you compare it to the voice actors that they modeled the character off of.
Yeah.
And back then, she had long hair, very attractive young lady, and now she's got a bit of an SJW haircut. But it's like they really uglified the shit out of her, whereas the male writer, nope.
But they're busy trying to say that all its technical limitations that have made her face have a jawline
bull fucking
of Hulk,
shit.
of the Hulk and whatever.
Yeah.
Bullshit. You chose to make them lumpy and horrible looking. Well,
I mean,
you know.
you compare the chick that's played was it Kay Vess? I mean, in my video I made a joke about how she has a chin that gives Jay Leno a run for his money. It's fucking true. And you take a look at the actress, and she's very attractive. And it's like, why are you fucking doing this? Why are you casting attractive women first off and just making them ugly?
She looked more like caved in than cave S. But yeah, just even not average attractive would be better than what they've done. Most people are not lumpy like that. There's somewhere in the middle.
Speak for yourself.
Indeed.
Well, it's like
I'm a lumpy man.
I know not everyone can be as
not all the
handsome as
women in
me.
video
That's
games need
tough.
to look
That's
like
true.
Eve from
It's-
Stellar Blade, but it fucking helps.
I don't know. We just want fun. Make attractiveness great again. Let's have some games and movies and TV shows.
The way the
with some
character
attractive
looks.
people.
Have attractiveness, and then
Right.
for every attractiveness we have a Brandon Lee letting Dolph Lundgren know that he has the biggest dick that he's ever seen on a man.
That's right.
But not on a woman, specifically a man.
Go ahead, Tux.
I was saying, you don't need I don't need the outside influence to infect the entertainment. If you focus on making the entertainment good, I don't care.
Yeah.
What the person looks like. Ed O'Neill's not the greatest looking guy in the world, but
but he pegged
Married with
Peggy.
Children was freaking hilarious for years, right? And Katie Seagal's not the most beautiful woman in the world, but she was very feminine in that, right? So,
But at the same
you
time,
don't
she's
need to
not-
have
she's
pretty
not
people,
ugly too, right? I mean,
no,
right. I get the point. It's like they don't need to be super hot, which I agree with, right? But don't.
If the story's good, it doesn't matter.
But it depends on the property.
I agree with you, but aesthetics do matter.
If it's
in my
part of the
opinion.
gameplay and the aesthetics and things from there, like okay, here we go. Lord of the Rings. If you take and you look at Rings of Power and you look at Galadriel, totally different story, different feel and everything in the films, all right? Because it was Kate Blanchett, right? And in Rings of Power, you automatically, when she comes in and you see her and she does stuff, leads no credence to any kind of validity of the story.
She doesn't match the description of the character in the source material in
No.
any way.
From that. But there were so many other beautiful people in there. They made her character ugly inside and out.
Yeah.
So I'm
Is
talking
really
about
what they
in
did.
Rings of Power. Yeah, Galadriel in the Rings of Power.
In the Rings of Power.
Yeah.
But that's not who she was in the books, and that's not even who she was in the Silmarillion. It's like this is one of the people holding one of the lights, dude, from the original trees. She's not, going to have this kind of ugliness inside. So I just, yeah.
Yeah, and it's not a narrative improvement of any kind. It's just a change made for political reasons. That's all it is.
Right, and that's really the point. I don't really need to know your political stuff and things in there. Star Trek, go back to original Star Trek. They had people of all shapes and colors and all kinds of stuff in original Star Trek. They did all kinds of the political stuff that they had in Star Trek was stuff that you should be okay with.
It was in world, right? I mean,
Yeah, racism is
that's the big
bad.
thing. Yeah.
Right? Okay, you have racism bad. Killing everybody else to genocide, bad. Right?
And
Indiscriminate killing, bad. Come on.
And they still had Yeoman Rand.
Yes. Who was 16 because she got stuck in a sublight ship trying to get back home, and they were relativistic speeds. Took 5 years. So even though she was 16, she was actually 19 in Starfleet records because of that. That's how she got on the ship. They explain a bunch of that stuff. So, But yes, the difference between what you saw in Star Trek and what you saw in other shows and movies around that time and now is the incompetence of some of the people that are creating the stories and that are creating the game. They just are stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's just sad. And again, Space Invaders, Arkanoid. That was another good one. That's some good stuff. I like those.
You've
Kubrick.
got something else to share with us, Talks. You look like you've got something to share with us.
No, I'm tired. I need to go to bed.
Yeah.
I need to clean
Well,
up cat
we're
boxes.
going to wrap things up because we're basically at the 2-hour mark anyway. So let's go and do that. I did want to talk about Neil Gaiman, but it's late.
We already know the whole story with Neil Gaiman.
Dude, he's a large
If you
throbbing
read
knob.
not the New Yorker, whoever did the article on him, holy shit. And again, I do believe in innocent until proven guilty. I kind of have the feeling that he probably did do this. I mean, he admitted that it was consensual. And that's also a possibility that everything that has transpired was consensual. But holy shit, dude. That guy is fucked up.
It's a bit of
man.
a laundry list of stuff, yeah. But
Yeah.
I mean, innocent until proven guilty. I mean,
Innocent until proven
allegations.
guilty.
Neil Gaiman or not, he still does deserve his day to
Deserves due
prove his
process,
innocence.
Yeah.
That said, do I think there's at least some guilt there? Yeah. I think at the very minimum, it's 50-50. And what I mean by 50-50, I bet you a lot of those actions took place. I think the real question is the consensual level of it. That's where I think it's kind of like the whole Vince McMahon case. We don't doubt Vince McMahon being crazy. We don't put it past him to do dirty, raw, nasty deeds.
Mm-hmm.
But you definitely have to question whether someone was trying to get involved in it or was it forceful. That is the part I question Neil. Because, remember, Neil's involved in a company where there's a lot of cloud chasers, and Neil's the type of guy they could go to try to get a leg up in terms of status, and they will do a lot of crazy things to gain that clout.
Power. They have power.
They see Neil as power, and they want that power that Neil has. So if they got to go through him, they will do things that they normally wouldn't do to get that power.
Well, there's one thing I want to point out. Okay, so Neil and Amanda Palmer are going through a very bitter divorce, and she knew about all the stuff that was going on, and it all comes out now for some reason after he basically let her dry legally speaking. And I'm not going to say
there
that
are
she's
no
been kind of
winners here.
complicit in it, but
There are no winners
she's the
here.
one who introduced him to the babysitter, and kind of knew how Neil was and all the shit. So I don't know, dude. I think everybody's kind of dirty in the situation between Neil
there's
and
no
Amanda.
winners here.
Oh yeah. This
I-
isn't about bad guy. This is a good guy. Bad. This is about who is the least shittiest of them all.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's sordid, the whole thing.
Yeah. And yeah, he's got problems. He's got a lot of fucking problems. And I didn't realize that his parents grew up in Scientology. And he was basically raised in it. And I'm sure that probably has caused some sort of damage to him as well. It's probably the reason why he ended up the way he was. But I mean, there's stuff I can't say on YouTube that if you read the article about how he got into the whole BDSM thing, and that's the only way for him to be able to get off. It's pretty fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad. So yeah, he's
it's pretty sad, the whole thing.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
pretty
wait,
sad.
that's a problem?
Whip it good.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
You should
No,
listen. Oh, good.
Yeah, you got to read the article. It's rough, dude. It is really fucking rough.
Yeah, be prepared if you're reading it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty shitty. No pun intended.
Yeah, really.
I think
And I generally mean that. No pun intended. Seriously, I'm actually serious on that.
This is the tip of the iceberg for those for that community of people. I think most of us believe so.
Yeah.
But anyway.
All right, we'll start with you, Brian.
What?
What?
Well, it's been real, man. It's been real. It's been a blast. Yeah. So next Monday on my channel, we will be doing an episode of our occasional show called Comedy Crew, where we're going to do a little bit of a tribute to Jim Abrahams, and we're going to talk about Top Secret.
Ah,
movie
yes.
Top Secret, which I just sent a tweet
Your
talks again.
Schnauzer is on my Wiener Schnitzel.
That's right. How do you like your hog balls? Your hog balls are here. So Top Secret is the movie. That should be a lot of fun. That's right.
Well, thanks. Well, he died. He electrocuted himself. He died with a smile.
So that's next Monday show, 3 p.m. Mountain Time. Tomorrow I'll be on Ascendant Art channel with Brahma and a few others. Saturday night, I don't know if there's a bourbon boarding this Saturday because I think Brahma might be busy. We'll know on Saturday. And then probably have a couple of videos to put out. One about David Lynch, actually. I'll probably do a short David Lynch tribute video. And I've just started watching. It's really weird for me watching an English language show because I keep saying, why are they not talking Korean? American Primeval on Netflix. Anyone else watching that?
I've never heard of it. What's it about?
American Primevals. Peter Berg, Netflix show. Taylor Kitsch is one of the stars, and it's about the settlement. Well, it's set in the west of the 18. It's kind of got Horizon vibes, except with a lot more grit and dirt and violence, I think, and much more entertaining. So check it out, American Primeval. I've only watched the first episode and it was excellent. Peter Berg usually is pretty good, so I'll be watching that and then talking about that, I'm sure. So
I'll have to go check it out.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's on Netflix. Yeah.
Before we jump over to Nick, I wanted to pull up the stuff from
that's a good one.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's got a few concepts showing off here tonight. That's pretty neat. I have to say. He's also got this
wang.
Kill the Wang.
Oh, I actually said show, but no, we can kill it too. I mean, that's if you want to kill it, that's fine.
No, I was being silly.
Okay.
Those are cool, man. Those are very cool.
No, they're killer, dude. Seriously, they're straight up killer.
All right, Nick.
All right, so yeah, right. Nosferatu. No, tomorrow, Clubby's Comic Shop. Hanging with D. Bud Martin, who you see in a lot of our chats, talking classic Spidey. I actually put out 2 videos this week. I actually followed through on it, and one of them is about my thoughts on the Daredevil Born Again trailer. I think I'm more than qualified to talk about it, considering I know a lot about Daredevil. So if you want Daredevil knowledge from someone who actually knows the character, I'm a go-to on that. I say that with confidence. So watch that video on Toxic Tuesday next week. The Equalizer 3 with deleted scenes. And of course, I'll be here next week. And then this Saturday night, I'll be guesting on Zax's channel. It's going to be a huge time. Thank you for having me, Comics.
Thank you,
and
sir.
have a good night, chat.
All right, Man Flu.
Comics Division going to be on Friday Night Tights tomorrow. Yes. And of course, you need to watch some Culture Casino. Tell people to watch Culture Casino and follow him so we can get to 100K so we can do the full body waxing. So go do Culture Casino's channel too. Then you can catch Comics doing gaming tabletop stuff Saturday at 10 a.m. Culture's going to have a news show at 10 a.m. And then I think we're going to be kicking off Culture's Sunday show this Sunday. Sunday. Then we're back here Monday for Monday Night Meltdown. Comics have been putting out more videos. Put out one a day. Go see that one. It's out there. You know, it's called Video Something about something that he did.
Gamers overwhelmingly want male or female characters in games.
That's what it is. So go out and take a look at it. It's a good video.
Male and female characters?
Male
or female characters.
Playing a male or female.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But it was really funny. It actually made me laugh. So there you go. That's telling you something. Yeah. It's a gaming video.
Yeah, Brandon pinged me. He's like, dude, you had some banger lines in there.
There was some good stuff. Before we get out of here, I got a couple of memes. I can stop playing this stuff. This is from Parrothead at Stick Division Backstage. Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
There's a body type C right in the middle there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on Matt's chest the way he would like it.
Yeah. Nobody wants.
Culture looks like he's giving and receiving handies.
He does. He does. He looks that. That is.
You've seen too many videos, Nick.
Well, look where his hands are positioned.
It does.
He's giving
It
both
looks-
bad, and yet he's got
that
the expression
stupid-
that he's
It looks
responding
like
one.
it looks like he's at a presidential farewell address.
What are those tattoos?
Inappropriate, but accurate.
Oh, and apparently, here you go, Babylon B. Obama to divorce Michelle after discovering she's actually a woman. Oh no,
That's right.
that's horrible.
Oh, but so it's so funny.
Smokey DeBass, only you can stop forest fires. Well, that was good.
Oh,
That was only you can start forest
Just
fires.
check URL for that one.
Yeah.
So and here's some from Deeple. So here's MAGA arriving January
MAGA
20th.
Prime.
That's right. Thought that was good.
That's funny.
And Doc, I think I might be disabled. What is taxation? The price we pay to live in a civilized society. Patient is basically retarded. Yeah, there we go. And back in my day, we had to switch to channel 3 and plug in the yellow, red, and white cables to play video games. So true.
Some of us still do.
So true. So true. And it was Gary's fault. I don't know why it's there, but yeah, it's all Gary's fault.
Awesome.
The Toxic Man Flu Fund. Even I am grifting off of California, apparently. I didn't realize I could wear a suit like that. No, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a
Look like
rocket
a
suit.
golf ball, in a way.
It's not your normal BDSM outfit.
It isn't. And here's some more stuff from my rate specialist, who's a very sick individual.
That's very
Needs help.
steampunk.
Yeah. I like this one.
That's actually
Pretty
cute.
good, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. This is not. I look like Drew. A green Drew, and I don't. This scares me.
No, the Spider-Man, he just wants to make out with you.
Spider Gimp.
I guess Spider Gimp, yeah. I don't know about that. And then here's Meghan Markle saving us all.
Yes.
So she has a big douche nozzle. She usually is holding a big douche nozzle. That's true.
When a Firestorm Stewart is a real game, the Water Boy too.
My
That's
God.
pretty funny. And I think, oh yeah, Skeletal Crew series. It's the best Star Wars premiere on Disney on a Tuesday under a blood moon. There we go. And then I showed this one, and this is disgusting.
Then don't show it.
God.
Okay, that's right there with Gary Blue. I'm taking that shit down, man.
Yeah, that's just awful. And then just join us. It's okay.
Indeed.
What did you say?
I said indeed.
Indeed.
No, before that.
I said that's no, you ass. you son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch.
That's my name.
Exactly. All right, folks. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. It was a lot of fun as always. And we will catch you next time, obviously, here on the channel on Monday. Again, thank you for supporting the channel. Greatly appreciate it. Literally, you keep the lights on. Thank you so much. Here's some credits. Enjoy.
Peanut and Fred were just hanging around. They were just babies when they were found. But the DEC came with heartless intent. Lives were shattered. Can't make amends.
Oh, slats.
Donald on the rise, he's hearing the cries. In a suit and tie, he's ready to rise. He'll stand up tall, he won't back down. For Peanut and Fred, he'll win the crowd. Justice for the fallen, we're fighting loud. Peanut and Fred, God in a shroud. From the rooftops, we'll scream and shout until their names
That was for him.
yep.
Yes, well, that's the sort of blinkered Philistine pig ignorance I've come to expect from you non-creative garbage.
Too long delayed. Donald hears us, the fight's just begun. For every lost friend, please stand his word. The city watching, the tension's thick. Wanna see change, better act quick. The flames of rage, they start to spread. For Peanut
A fart, gay place, and a gunshot.
justice for the fallen, we're
Oh, here's one for you.
Peanut and Fred, God in a shroud. From the rooftops, we'll scream and shout.
An oldie but a goodie.
Yeah, right. Yeah, all right. We need a new one now. Fucking Weeby Bugs. We need a new one.
Yes, I can definitely smell shite.
Oh man, I miss the Guild. The Gilded days were really great.
Yeah, they were.
Seriously,
Oh my god, the cop.
The minute I hear about a worthy platform to get something going, that's not Discord or Gilded, I'm gonna get back on that shit. 'Cause seriously, like, I could not be on Gilded for 3 or 4 days, maybe because I'm busy. I'll come back and all of my feeds are freaking like slammed and shit. It was like the best feeling ever. I was like, holy crap! Like, this is actually like an active forum. I loved it. It's so fun.
And then he did the Reblocks thing, and they killed the whole platform.
Oh, they straight up murdered their own platform by doing it. It was just so unfortunate because it was such a fun place to be. Like, we would even have like we'd have watch parties on Gilded. It was great. I remember me and Vince would do watch parties, watching Saturday morning cartoons. We'd watch a few Metal Mythos episodes. It was such a good time. Teases, he was always firing up on the memes. Bruce McFadden and Christian were battling for outfooding each other with food picks. It's great.
The thing is, Gilded is still there, so we can become active again if you guys want.
We'll have to talk. The thing is, I don't want Roblox.